blueberriesforlife.com, and today's video is going to be all about blueberries and some different recipes and ways that you can preserve them and prepare them, and especially ways that kids will really love. Okay, so I think the first thing that we're going to do with our blueberries is just wash them, and I like to use a colander. This is such a funny little old squatty, bent up, missing a foot colander, but it works. And I'm just going to dump my berries into there, and I'm going to pick out any that are green, or if I see some leaves or stems, I'm going to pick them out. Wait, I have a runaway. Oh, got him. Okay. So I have a little cheat sheet here because, you know, mom brain, I'll blame it on mom brain. I've always had mom brain my whole life, but now I'm a mom, so I can have mom brain, it's okay. So I have a sticky note here with the things I want to share with you, or else this is what the video will be. So we don't want that. So I'm going to rinse these off. It'll probably take, you know, a couple trips. I should definitely mention that the special thing about these blueberries is that I went with the kids and we picked them ourselves. So we went to our favorite local blueberry farm. It's a berry farm, actually. He has strawberries in like May, June, and what else? Blackberries and blueberries. So we go there every year, almost every year, and pick the most delicious, fattest blueberries. And I love that summer memory with the kids. And I also love having a bunch of blueberries in the refrigerator, or in the freezer in the fall and winter to eat. I'm using some Sure-Jell. If you've never made jam before, it's what you put in, it's pectin, it's what you put in to make it kind of have that firm gel consistency. I like to get the low or no sugar pectin, and then that way I can adjust the sugar any way I want. I tend to like to put in less sugar so that it's not as sweet. And if you do that with regular pectin, you will mess it up and it will not set. So I like to get the low sugar, no sugar pectin. And no matter how many times I do this, I open this box up and I take this out, and I get so stressed out for a minute or two, and I'm reading and I'm trying, what am I cooked or quick and easy or traditional recipe, troubleshooting, and then this is what I do. So I'm just going to keep it really simple, and I'm going to go by what's on the back of the box, and it says for the cooked recipe, which I like to do the cooked recipe because it dissolves the sugar and you don't have any gritty sugar in your lovely little jar of jam. So I'm going to split this in half, and it says to do a half of the pectin, 1.5 quarts of fruit, 2 cups of sugar, and I will need 4 of these little half-pint jars. So I'm going to measure my blueberries using this because I know it's a quart. So I need 1.5 quarts of berries. No stems. Perfect, 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 perfect. So, now comes the part that takes a few minutes, and that's cooking. And I'm going to put this over probably about medium to medium-high heat, and I'm just going to kind of keep messing with it and stirring and mushing and let it start to work down and get juicy and bubbly. I will go ahead and move on to my next recipe, and that is blueberry pancakes. And blueberry pancakes are super, super easy if you already have a good pancake recipe, or you like to fix pancakes out of a box, then just throw some fresh blueberries into the mix. But if you're looking for a super, super easy, quick pancake recipe, I actually have that over on the blog, and I will put a link down in the description for you. It's just a few simple ingredients that you will probably already have around your house. Flour and a little bit of sugar and baking, let's see, it's on here actually. Baking powder, baking soda, salt, a little bit of sugar, all-purpose flour, and then I mix that up and I keep it in this jar. And then that way all I have to do is measure out 1 or 2 cups of the dry mix, and you add an egg, you add some milk, and you add some melted butter or oil, and mix it all up, and there's your pancake batter. So if you would like to get that recipe, that is over on the blog. And that is super delicious if you just add a couple handfuls of blueberries into the batter, and you mix it as you go, mix it up. Get a spoonful of your batter, you pour it into your hot skillet, cook it, flip it. It does take maybe a little bit longer on each side, just because of that fat, juicy, cold berry that you've put into the batter. So do give it a little extra time to cook all the way through. But that's all you do for that, and they're just absolutely delicious. Okay, y'all, so we're almost there with the fruit. While that finishes up, so if there's anything I have learned about children, it is that they don't like chunks in their food. So we get out the blender and we're going to blend it and get all the chunks out. So here we are with our fruit. Mom always taught me, don't set your hot pan down on the counter. Doesn't that look good? Alright, but you see what I mean about the berries? They're still whole, which I think is delicious. Would definitely be delicious over ice cream or yogurt, but for jam, most kids just aren't going to have that. So we're going to make it nice and smooth by putting it in the blender. Now y'all be careful doing this, because hot sugar is really hot. Look at the color. Look at that. Beautiful. And make sure that your lid is sealed, because good gracious, what a disaster that would be. Okay, here we go. Cover your ears. Woo, hot. There was steam coming out of the top of there. All right, that looks good. Ooh, it smells good. All right, so we have our fruit and sugar mixture. We've got our jars clean and ready. The only thing left to do is prepare the pectin, which the box will tell you how to do, but for me, I am using half of it, so I'm doing 3/4 cup of water boiling on the stove. I have it over here boiling. I'm gonna put about half of this packet in there and let it boil for 2 minutes, and then I can put it into the fruit mixture. All right, so now I've got my prepared pectin, and it just looks kind of like slime, honestly. Yay! So now we're gonna add it into the fruit. And give it a stir. And then we're gonna pour it into our clean jars. And I'm gonna freeze this jam. So I'm only gonna fill it to about here. So there's plenty of headspace at the top because we don't want to break our jars. And if you're freezing, use a jar that is made to be freezer safe, which these ball mason jars that I have are. And looky there, somehow I miscalculated and I have extra. So let me grab another jar. There we go, perfect. And I will make sure to jot down in the description box kind of exactly what I did, but remember, if you're using pectin, the back of the box will always tell you the proportions of things, so don't worry too much about that. And I'm going to set these over to the side, and I'm going to show you how I freeze my blueberries to keep in just a minute. Alright, so I use a baking sheet and some parchment paper. I use parchment paper for everything. I love to use it on these baking sheets, and I do roasted vegetables and chicken all the time on here on a piece of parchment paper. And then all I have to do is pull the parchment paper up, sometimes give it a quick rinse, and I don't have to scrub all kinds of baked on gunk off of my pan. So I love that. And I get this kind that is compostable and certified unbleached and chlorine free, so that it's not, you know, got who knows what on it touching your food. So anyway, so now this is very complicated, so watch closely. I'm going to dump the blueberries onto the pan. And I'm going to spread them out. And then I'm going to put it in the freezer. Oh, you really needed me to teach you how to do this, didn't you? I know that you did. It feels good to be needed. Okay, so spreading them out like this just means that they will be easier to keep separate. And once they are frozen, then I will take them out of the freezer and I will kind of just grab them all up and I will put them into a freezer Ziploc baggie and I will keep them that way. But if I did that right now, they would all freeze in a hard clump and it would be impossible. Okay, so I'm gonna put these into the freezer and tomorrow I'll be able to put them in a zippy bag. But the other ideas I have for you for ways to use fresh blueberries that kids are gonna love are smoothies. That's one thing that we love to do around here, and we definitely do with our frozen blueberries, is throw a handful or two into a smoothie when we're fixing them. My favorite base for a smoothie is frozen banana, so we keep a Ziploc bag of those in the freezer all the time. I just peel the bananas, break them in half, and I put them in a freezer bag. And then when I need to make a smoothie, I usually use 1 to 2 bananas depending on how many people are going to eat the smoothie. For one person, a half to 1 banana is usually the amount you need. And then for a blueberry smoothie, I would do almond milk, frozen banana, handful or 2 of blueberries, maybe a little bloop glug of vanilla, and that's probably all I would put in it. The bananas are very sweet and that gives you that really thick, creamy, ice creamy texture. Now, you could also add a couple handfuls of fresh spinach, and you're really not going to taste the spinach. It's going to make your smoothie bright green and beautiful and very healthy for you, and you don't really taste the spinach. I can't help it. Okay. Another way my kids love to eat blueberries is just frozen in a little bowl with some milk over top. And the milk, after a minute or so, the blueberries freeze the milk. And they love to eat that. And I love to eat that too. Frozen blueberries in oatmeal is delicious. Remember the pancake recipe. You can just add the frozen blueberries into your pancake batter and just give it an extra minute or 2, remember, and it will cook up just fine in your pancakes. You can add them to muffins. You can... That's it. That's all I got. So if you find yourselves with a bunch of blueberries this summer and kids to eat them, then I hope this video has given you some ideas for healthy blueberry recipes that your kids will love. And thank you for stopping by my kitchen today and spending time with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. And also, when you drop some on the rug in your kitchen, don't think you're going to be able to get it out either, because it won't come out.